Three. Yeah, it's recording. Hello, everybody. Today I will be talking about the Nahua tribe. Let's get started. Who are the Nahuas? They are a tribe who have settled in Mexico Guerrero, but their history has spread all throughout the south of North America. But today I will emphasize their stay in Guerrero and Morelos. The Nahuas are most known to be ancestors of the Aztecs, but are very different, but they are influenced by them. Here in this image, we see women in traditional Nahua wear. They're practicing a ritual. You can see a couple of their dishes and crops in hand. Moving on to the next slide. Traditional wear is different between women and men. It has changed throughout history, but this is more modernized. Women usually wear long traditional skirts with bright colors, embroidered tops, huaraches, rebosos, and fajas. Here in the biggest image, we see a family. The mother and daughter are wearing traditional wear. Here, these other women are wearing jewelry with bright colors. You see the different embroidery within their clothing. Men wear much simpler clothing that are cotton and wool material, huaraches as well, and can also be seen wearing straw hats. Further demographics, here we have an image of the Guerrero map, but also bordering states that can hold Nahua population as well. This tribe does have their own language, the Naulet, and their population is very much alive in Mexico today. My connection to the tribe is that my family is from Guerrero, and I was able to visit them this summer and see some of the Nauet land that is still alive today. Here up in the left corner, we see Xochimilco. That is very touristy attraction, but does hold a lot of Nauet community. Where they benefit a lot from this tourist attraction, they also tell a lot of meaningful history behind the Xochimilco land, which is very important to the Nauet community, keeping it very much alive. These other pictures are Tasco and regions of mountain areas in Guerrero. This is just to give an idea of what the Nahua land keeps sacred back then, a lot of mountain range areas and crops. So their history and culture. A lot of native land in Mexico was conquered by the Spanish. Specifically, the Nahua land was invaded within the 16th century. Before then, they were highly connected to their original language, religious practice, rituals, and spiritual connections. These connections were with different deities between the rain, sun, and the moon. Here we see a couple examples of rituals and dances going on within the Nahua culture. You see they have bright colors and different traditional wear that can be seen in modern times now. These dances were called tigradas, and they held importance because of the importance of crops that the Nahuas hold. That's why you can see a couple of animal heads within these dances. Moving on to religious background and practices. I like to separate between prehistoric religious values and then modern religion for today and the Nahuas. Due to them being conquered and invaded by the Spanish, it does change over time. So before it was a lot of spirituality between worshiping the sun, moon, and the rain. Um, but it does have similarities to the Catholic traditions today. A lot of now communities are Catholic, but they do change in who they worship. Before it was a lot of the deities, now it's Catholic saints like the Virgin Mary or traditions like the Day of the Dead. So yeah, in this slide you see pictures of tigradas that are called the tracololeros now. But yes, these are very normal in Guerrero and can be seen here in the States as well, depending on what church you go to or different Catholic practices that you celebrate. For their socioeconomic background, a lot of the Nahues do face poverty due to the simpler life out in Mexico before and now. This is here you see a couple images of farmers in Guerrero. You can see here on the bottom image a lot of the slanted land. But yes, this does come with a couple limitations, weaker labor forces, livestock and material being used as currency. It does also impact education that we'll go on to in the next slide. But yes, they do have a lot of poverty in the Nahua tribe. Some other challenges and discriminations they face are religious conversion, which we were talking about in the religious slide, colonization, that can also connect back to the invasion of the Spanish, dialect. Here we have a book where the Naulet language and the English is translated, and an image of students working on work here. An important one I also found is PTSD, a study conducted by researchers. A lot of PTSD and depression is connected to the Nauet community. So some reform and solutions that I found is that can be added. It can be a little bit different just because it is Mexico, so it has different jurisdictions and laws and anything impacting federal funding, but a lot of federal funding for education and other resources can help this form of discrimination for Indigenous people in general, and especially the Nauets. In recent years, I've found a couple articles that Mexico has implemented Indigenous rights, which can help with land, small businesses, and growing economically, but also help education with scholarships. Um, having, I believe that if the community doesn't have the resources available to them, they can't move forward from it. So adding interpreters, defense counsels, or health resources for physical and mental illnesses can benefit the community. So that is it. Thank you, everybody.